Okay, ladies and gentlemen, part three of linear transformations. We're doing a wonderful job. It's very important because a lot of us are taking advantage, but just a reminder, please use Desmos.com. Today I'm picking up grades at, let's say, 1 o'clock. I'm going to be pulling grades tomorrow. Grades are due, so you should be able to have seeing your grade. Tomorrow, Friday, you're going to just have all this time to make up work. You're going to email me, whatever you got to do to let me know, sir, I have done this or whatever, and you'll be good to go. Part three should be the last day of transformations. Like, like I said before, I'm trying extremely hard to make this as friendly and as easy as possible. Couple refreshers. We did vertical transformations already. We did horizontal transformations. Don't forget, vertical means we're going up or down. Horizontal means we're going left or right. And today is steepness. It's a little different. All we're paying attention to are these A values. I put them next to each other because for linear, ladies and gentlemen, it really doesn't matter if it's inside or outside. It's going to be very important once we get into quadratics, but for this, it's not a humongous change. I don't want to get into extreme detail because, again, no confusion. I want everybody to be A-okay. But anyways, here are some key features that you need to know. Steeper and less steep. If it's steeper, that means it's going to be bigger than 1. Okay? To be bigger than 1, I don't want to get into negatives just yet. But if it's steeper, that means it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, not 1. It's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to infinity, right? Anything that's bigger than 1. Not equal to 1, bigger than 1. I wish we had class. I could say, why can't we say it's 1? But hopefully you can realize that the parent function has a slope of 1. Anyways, less steep, that means it's between 0 and 1. So let's make a little note right here. That means it's fractions. If you see a fraction as your slope, that's either A inside or A outside, and you see a fraction, you should automatically know, hey, that's going to be less steep. That means it's going to be going down. Okay? All right. Pause the video if you need to make notes. I'm going to keep going. Okay. I need to make it a little bit bigger. Let's see. Let's try something right here. All right. Oh, shoot, but I can't do it. Dang it. Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. Get out of there. Why is it doing that? Okay. Parent function. Of course, parent function, we're going to do it in red because that's how the Desmos is working. This is the point in the center at the origin. And now we're not going to be moving it up, down, left, or right. All we're going to be doing is, imagine this ruler is my parent function, and all we're going to be doing is kind of rotating it around the origin, whether it's steeper or less steep. Okay? Now, for this example, I put these two right there next to each other because if you check in Desmos, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, it's still the same thing because we don't have an intercept in this case. We only have to play with 0. That's the teak. I'm not going to go above and beyond right now, okay? So, what does that mean? The transformation. So, real quick, from the section above, we said if it's greater than 1, this is steeper. Right away, you need to make that note. Hey, it's steeper, so that means it's going to be more inclined. And we started at 0. Now, what do these numbers represent since they're right there in front of x? That's my slope, ladies and gentlemen. So you should hopefully remember slope is supposed to be a fraction. If you don't like it, it's okay. Use Desmos. But if you want to know, 3 over 1. So I go up 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. and we draw that beautiful line, and we should be able to see that it's steeper. That means it went from right here and it went and it went up. Okay, it got like a clock type of deal, you know. I mean, it went. All right, let's double check in Desmos. Desmos, it's the fun Desmos. It's gonna make your life easy. So just do Desmos. Parent function f of x. You must always type this in. There's my red beautiful line. Oh, I keep forgetting. Don't forget to do the little toolbar. Take off minor guidelines. Put some arrows. Put 1. Go to the bottom one. Put 1. Nice. Okay. Now the second one, remember it's g of x. We can put both of the other ones and you'll see that it's still the same thing. Oops. G of x equals, first one was 3 parentheses f of x. And you'll see, ladies and gentlemen, right there, boom, it stayed in the same section, stayed in the same origin, and it went from the red, use a ruler, it went from red, and all it did was, and just shifted, because all we're changing is the slope. Okay, so it went from right here to right here, from right here to right here. But again, hopefully, if you see a multiple choice question, you understand I'm looking at the graph. Now, it's important because the quizzes include labeling, so just make sure, labeling includes word description. Just make sure you know that this 3 is representing steeper. It's a lot steeper. Okay. And of course, I want to show you that it's the same thing for the second one, g of x equals, oh shoot. No, let me just do it on this one. If I took off 3 and I put it inside the parentheses, 3x, boom, you'll see that it was still in the same area. So for this particular thing, we're going to be okay, I promise. Okay. Steeper by 3. That's all you got to know. Steeper. Okay. Course fractions right away. If we remember from the top, is it steeper or less steep? Fractions tell me it's less steep. I'm going to take that 2 over 3. I know it's up, and then 3 to the right. We should know, right? Take that slope, up 2, 3 to the right because it's positive. Parent function's at 0. Transformation still starts at 0 because we're just playing with slope. Sorry, I forgot to change color. Of 2 over 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Nice big point. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Nice big point. Oops, ugly line. Boom. And as you can see, hopefully we had the parent function like this and we went down. Let's go to Desmos real quick just so we could double check. I really hope everyone's taking advantage of the Desmos. Okay, so it's 2 over 3, 2 divided by 3. Click this. F of x. And as you can see, red line shifted down. They both stayed at 0. And as we can see, red line shifted down. Pew. Red line shifted down. Pew. Cool. Again, if you need more explanation, please come to tutorials. I have no problem. You can screen your phone. You can put your computer on my stuff, and I could work with you on whatever you're working on. Okay. And keyword less steep by 2/3. All right, almost done. Reflection real quick. I'm not going to get super big detail about negatives, but if you see a negative, of course, that just means that it's a reflection. Okay, so that means that instead of it going up like this, it goes down because that's a negative slope. We can look at that real quick. Parent function f of x equals x, and g of x, if I put a negative up in front, you'll just see it turn down. Negative f of x. So it went from positive slope, went down to a negative slope. That's all the negative is. And we'll do more examples with negatives when we get to quadratics because it doesn't make that much sense right here. Okay. And this is how your test is going to be formatted because it's star related. Okay? So we have the functions f of x. I'm going to do the f of x in red. And then we have our g of x in blue. Now, right away, we should be able to see, like, hey, this is either steeper or less steep because we stayed at the origin and all we did was move like a clock. And it went downwards, okay? So since it went downwards where it shifted like, we should relate back to the notes at the top. And does that mean that it's steeper or less steep? Ask yourself. Well, that means that it's less steep. So right away, if it's less steep, because we paid attention in our notes, I should also remember less steep means fractions. And if fractions is less steep and I look at my multiple choices, I don't even have to go to Desmos. I don't even have to check each one to see which one's which. I can automatically say, hey, Desmos is good, but I should be able to remember less steep means fractions. And fractions, boom, you got the answer done. But yes, of course, take your time, put each one of these into your Desmos, and you'll see that B is the answer, I promise. And that's in the way the quiz is going to be, so be very careful. Make sure you're mindful of what the definitions of steeper and less steep is, and you'll be all right. Other than that, grades are due tomorrow. Make sure you have everything done by 1 o'clock today, and that's what I'm going to pick up, okay? Y'all have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you all on Monday.